Hey everyone, welcome. So, if you're in the cybersecurity world or you're aiming for a leadership role, I'm willing to bet you've heard of the CISSP. But what is it really? And what does it actually take to conquer it? Well, today we're going to demystify it completely, breaking it all down domain by domain. Let's dive right in.
You see this everywhere, right? The gold standard. And you know what? It's not an exaggeration at all. The CISSP proves you don't just understand one little piece of the security puzzle, it proves you see the entire strategic picture. It basically tells the whole industry that you're ready to design, engineer, and actually manage an organization's security posture.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll quickly cover why the CISSP is such a big deal. Then we'll get into its core structure, that 8-domain blueprint. After that, we'll take a quick tour through each of those domains, and we'll wrap up by looking at your path to getting certified. All right, so what really makes the CISSP the gold standard? Let's get to the heart of why this one certification can be a total game changer for your career. So this certification comes from the globally respected ISC Square. And what makes it so unique is that it's not just another technical cert. It validates both deep technical skills and managerial know-how. It's all about seeing the big picture, how to design, implement, and run a full-on security program that actually lines up with what the business is trying to achieve. Okay, so how on earth does the CISSP cover so much ground? Well, it's all organized into something called the Common Body of Knowledge, or the CBK. Let's break down what that structure looks like.
The whole thing is built on these 8 interconnected domains, but here's the kicker. They are not all weighted equally. Take a look. Security and risk management is the heaviest, right there at 16%. And there's a good reason for that. It's the strategic foundation for literally everything else. This shows you it's not a test of random technical facts. It's a test of your ability to think like a real security leader.
All right, now for the main event. Let's take a quick spin through each of these 8 domains so you can see what they're all about.
We're kicking things off with the big one, Domain 1. This isn't about configuring firewalls. It's about the business of security. You have to adopt what we call the CEO's perspective. This is where you learn to line up security with business goals, navigate all those complex legal rules like GDPR or HIPAA, and make sure the business can actually keep running after a disaster. It's the strategic glue holding everything else together. Next up, Domain 2, Asset Security. Okay, so if your data is the treasure, this domain is all about creating the treasure map and then guarding the vault. It's about identifying your most important assets, especially data, and then classifying them. And why does that matter? Well, you're going to protect top secret product designs a whole lot more carefully than you protect public marketing flyers, right? This domain covers that entire life cycle. Now we're getting into the engineering side of things. The core idea here is simple: secure by design. Think about it. You wouldn't build a skyscraper and then try to figure out where the support beams go, right? It's the same idea. This domain is all about building security in from the very beginning, covering everything from secure cloud setups to the heavy hitter of protection, cryptography. So our systems are designed securely, but what happens when data needs to travel between them? That's Domain 4. This is all about guarding the highways. It covers how to design secure networks and use things like firewalls, VPNs, and intrusion detection systems to stop anyone from snooping on or hijacking your data while it's on the move. It's kind of crazy, but most breaches today happen because of compromised credentials, and that makes Domain 5 absolutely critical. Think of it as the gatekeeper for all your digital stuff. It really just answers 2 simple questions. Who are you? That's authentication. And what are you allowed to do? That's authorization. This is where you master things like multi-factor authentication. So you've built all these awesome defenses, but how do you know they actually work? Well, you test them. Domain 6 is built on this idea of trust but verify. It's about proactively thinking like an attacker to find your weak spots before they do. This covers everything from running vulnerability scans and pen tests to doing security audits. You gotta constantly check the walls for cracks. Welcome to the front lines. Seriously, Domain 7 is where the action happens. This is the day-to-day grind of a security operations center, or a SOC. It's about watching for threats in real time, having a rock-solid plan for when things go wrong, and managing investigations and disaster recovery. When that alarm goes off at 3 a.m., this domain's principles are what guide the response. And finally, we land on Domain 8. A single little bug in an application can be a hacker's wide-open door to your entire kingdom.
This domain is all about slamming that door shut by building security into the entire software development lifecycle. You might have heard it called DevSecOps. It's about empowering developers to write secure code right from the start. Now, the really important thing to get is that these domains don't exist in little boxes. They are constantly interacting. So let's take a real-world example. A phishing attack gets detected by security operations. That's domain 7. But it only worked because of a weak authentication policy. That's a domain 5 problem. And that led to critical customer data getting stolen, a total domain 2 failure. To solve it, you need that holistic multi-domain view. Whew, okay, so we've toured all 8 domains. You can see just how comprehensive and maybe a little intimidating this exam really is. So, the big question is, how do you even begin to prepare for a challenge like this?
I mean, there are countless books, boot camps, and practice tests out there. It's really easy to get overwhelmed. So what's the smartest way to prepare for an exam of this magnitude?
Well, while traditional methods are still popular, a lot of modern platforms are now using AI to make studying way more personal and a lot more effective. For example, some tools can now create an AI-guided learning path that actually adapts to your weak spots, or use smart reviews to explain the why behind a wrong answer, not just that it was wrong. Some even highlight common mistakes other students make, so you can avoid them. This whole approach is about deep understanding, not just memorizing facts. At the end of the day, no matter which path you choose, the goal is exactly the same. The CISSP isn't just a finish line. It's a starting block. Mastering these 8 domains means so much more than just passing a test. It means you are truly equipped with the strategic mindset and the holistic knowledge to become a leader in this field. It's a journey, for sure, but it is one that's absolutely worth it.